What's up, everybody? It's Ox Trades back recording another video today. Today, I just want to go over, my opinion on one of the biggest markets in the U.S., which is the crypto market. Um, as of late, we've been seeing, a lot of weakness in the crypto market compared to the S&P, which is something that I will go over in here. Um, in my opinion, I'm not really a crypto trader, so crypto traders don't come at me and flame me, okay? I am a futures trader that does long-term invest in crypto, but the only ones I do long-term invest in, the only ones I will long-term invest in are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. So don't roast me, altcoin traders. I'm not coming after any of your altcoins. I don't give a dang about altcoins, but I do care about these because I do invest in these for the long term. And I do think that will get some opportunities in the near future to add more to a long-term portfolio. Like I said, there's a couple things that I want to go over here. First, obviously, we'll start with the big kahuna, the Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin had a very, very, very strong um, 2025. After the tariff announcement, we dropped from 100,000, dropped 30%, back down to 75,000, and we held this demand. This massive, massive, massive previous all-time high structure. We had these previous highs right here before we dumped back down to 50K, and that's exactly what we did. It was basically just a macro uptrend break and retest of previous structure. And it held and it ripped and it broke new all-time highs, which is exactly what you want to see. From the point where it hit 74K up to highs, it was up 70%, and basically, which is basically the best returns that you're going to get in the market. The only problem is that since it came down and hit that 125, or went up and hit that or 126, from the highs we fell 36% in the very end of the year. So from October to November, we dropped 36%, and then since then we've been forming a picture perfect bear flag back into a key level back near this 100,000, rejected this 100,000, and are now failing. I think if we break below this bear flag, break below 80,000, that 75,000 test is inevitable, and then that is key. If that 75,000 does not hold on Bitcoin, I genuinely think Bitcoin will be at 50,000 before the end of the year, if not much, much, much sooner than that, which will be over a 50% drop from highs. It'll be a 60% drop from highs, which is, not that estranged for Bitcoin, just so everybody knows. Bitcoin in 2021 rallied up to 65K, dropped 55% from highs, and then in 2021 later in the year rallied up to 70K, dropped to 15K, which is down 80% from all-time highs before bouncing off of a key demand. So that's not an estranged thing for Bitcoin to say. I don't think that it'll go below 50K. I think that there's too many big institutions that buy Bitcoin now, and I think that a lot of people will be starving if Bitcoin goes down past below 50K. But I do think that if Bitcoin breaks below this bear flag, gets below 75K, at some point 50K on Bitcoin does kind of just feel inevitable. That is my opinion on Bitcoin. Unless we reclaim 100,000, I think that this is a very, very, very bearish start, especially when you look at the S&P, which everyone says that no one's putting any of their money in the S&P because no one wants to own U.S. assets and it's all going into Bitcoin and blah, 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 blah. The S&P is down 1.3% from all-time highs, and Bitcoin is still 30% down from all-time highs. So if the entire U.S. market gets weak and people start selling, people are going to sell their Bitcoin first because they're at more of a loss with it. So if the whole market flips weak, Bitcoin being the relatively weak name, yeah, I hate to break it to you, crypto guys, Bitcoin will fall. And like I said, it can very easily reclaim and go back into all-time highs, but in my opinion, all of crypto is pretty much set up bearish. We'll go over XRP because I got some homies that are holding on to XRP, and XRP is very dangerous in my opinion. If XRP loses this 170 or like this 180 level, which it's been like trying to hold as it's been like one test like this like one whole 160 to 190 is just like critical. Bang, 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 bang. If we end up losing 175 on XRP and we don't bounce off of 160 and reclaim, XRP is going to $1. And that I think will be a generational buying opportunity, guys. So every single thing that I'm saying on the crypto, remember, all it is an opportunity for you to make money because I do believe in crypto. I do think crypto will recover, and I do think that people will make a lot of money off of it. XRP is what, down about 47% from all-time highs, and if it does get to $1, it'll be down 75% from all-time highs. So then you'll be up 400% if it goes back into all-time highs after it hits $1. But like I said, XRP, if it pulls back in and holds 175, it still looks good. Still, like, you know, not bad for the chart. If it breaks below this, and if it does this and reclaims, that's even more bullish for the chart. You know, stop out a bunch of people, reclaim, institutions rip it. But if we do something like this, retest this, and break down below this 160, this chart is dead into $1. I can almost guarantee that. Go over the next name, Ethereum. Ethereum, again, the market is down 1% from all-time highs. Ethereum is down 40% from all-time highs. So guys, please, please, please understand why I'm bearish on crypto. I do like crypto. But Ethereum, if it breaks below this 2600, we are cooked. But it does something like this, holds, breaks, retest, bang. This 2100 is the pivot. 2100, look at this shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests. That 2100 is going to be massive. If we break below 2100, you can bet your ass that we're headed back down to 1400 on Ethereum. We do have this little daily like wedge on Ethereum that did actually break down. You know, Bitcoin hasn't broken down out of its bear flag. Ethereum has kind of broken down out of this wedge, which isn't good for Ethereum, and which is probably why Ethereum is weaker than Bitcoin. Last name I want to go over is Solana. Solana, honestly, just as weak as the other names. Currently down 57% from all-time highs. And it's got this little drop base. So same thing I covered in my NQ video the other day. Got this whole drop. It's not a bear flag. It's not flagging like I said about NQ. But it does have... Oh, wow, that's a horrible line. Hang on a second, guys. Hang on a second. If we can manage to get a drop-based rally, reclaim, there you go. There's your upside move on Solana. If we end up getting this move down, break below 117 on Solana, we're headed back down to 95, where I do think you can start DCAing and buying Solana for the long term, because you know crypto has gotten smoked, and that, like I said, I am bearish on it, especially because its relative weakness to the indices. Normally, you know, it outperforms indices, crypto, and now you know Solana's third biggest name. You know, all four names are down 30% plus on crypto, and that doesn't even include all the altcoins that are down an obscene amount. But yeah, that's what I got for this video. I just wanted to upload this and get my opinions out there on crypto. I do buy crypto. I do buy crypto long term, and I do think that we will bounce back. And I do kind of hope we get more pain because it does give an opportunity to DCA and buy more at a lower cost. People, if you are willing to buy Bitcoin at 100K, please buy Bitcoin at 50K. Please, 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 please. If you were willing to buy Ethereum at 4,000, please, 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 please buy it at 2,100. If you are willing to buy XRP at $3, please, 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 please buy it at $1. If you are willing to buy Solana at $250, please, 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 please buy it at $95. Please. These bounces will get bought up. I'm telling you, these dips will get bought up eventually. I just do think in the short term we are more bearish on crypto, but I am just a guy that works a 9 to 5 that is trying to make trading his full-time income. So don't necessarily, if you don't agree with me, don't agree with me. But that's my opinion, guys, and I will see y'all in the next video that will be about futures trading. This is one of those odd ones that are about a little bit of a different topic. See you guys.